I believe that the market has 90% odds of bottoming already, unless Trump wish to take down the world with him. So macro markets, 28 April today, that we have received another surge of profit signals coming in, which coincide with last week, the breadth trust. When this happens, it shows that market has a lot of buy signals, which also shows a shift in sentiment, and also not just sentiment, but the real price action itself. And then, so let me show you where we might be right now and where we might be heading next. So tentatively, QQQ, the Nasdaq has broken out of the lower downtrend channel for over the past 1 to 2 months for the first time on the daily and weekly time frame. Few things can happen. It can actually go down a little bit and then to have a higher low around here, higher low, and market continue rally. Second, it can continue to go down and touch and test the previous second bottom, or test the bottom on the 7th of April 2025. And for me, a double bottom, that is also another bullish signal for it to continue to go up. But of course, there might also be a case where they continue to go down to this minus 30% line, or minus 37% line, or even like Asia financial crisis, whereby there's I think 50% line, and then dot-com bubble, there's even more. Of course, the 1930s, the Great Depression, there's also even more. But putting aside all this, because the odds of this happening is rather low, so let's just look at what has historically happened and what are the odds of us getting what we might get. So first thing first, VIX has spiked up to near 60 on the 8th of April. And on the 7th of April, it is where the bottom has, tentative bottom has already shown. And generally, when this were to happen, like oversold, plus a high ATR, average true range, high volatility, and generally it marks the bottom. And at that point of time, even for the Fear and Greed Index, it has reached as low as 3 or 4, which didn't really happen. I think it only happens like less than 5% over the past 13 years. So this makes it even better bull case that market has really bottomed. But of course, let's look at both sides, right? There might actually be another potentially 2 legs down should Trump wish to cause more disruption. My personal take is this: a dying person, right, is the scariest. Okay, I'm not saying that he's going to die or whatever. It's just that biologically, he's currently 79. In terms of the average life expectancy over there for males, that's about I think 78.7 or something. But then in terms of like millionaires and billionaires, that would be like 86 or something. So maybe there might be more runways for him. But at the same time, the time doesn't favor him. And on the other hand, let's say that is a different, that this theory doesn't work. Okay, let's move on to what we can see. I guess the world can agree that pride and ego is our biggest enemy, and also he's probably quite egoistic and prideful as well. So because of this, right, if you look at things objectively, 90 deals in 90 days until today, right, there's no open deals, and even there is open deals, he will just say that he's not going to disclose, because this is as far as what he can say. At the same time, he continues to say that he's meeting with China, but then China says that that's a bluff, that's not true. And second, right, there's no reduction of grocery price from day one. There's no ending of war on day one, or even before he reaches the Oval Office. So I guess, right, the world will have to move on because of our own survival, right? And so I guess also, right, the world will also set aside differences and just to tackle one common enemy. It's like it is also reportedly said that China has already met Europe, which they haven't really met for a very, very long time. At the same time, China also met with India, which they have quite a lot of conflicts over the years. But then at this point of time, at this season, most of the people are setting aside our differences just to make sure that we are aligned, just to make sure that we can tackle one common enemy. But of course, right, for my take is that I hope that the world can continue to just progress together as a human race, because we're all human. It's not about whoever countries and all, but just share the innovation, share the ideas so that we can all become a better race together. So my personal take is this: the odds of market bottoming, right, is still there, because, right, Trump seems to be very protective over SPX around 5,000 points or SPY around 500 points. So at that point of time, when it reaches around this portion, Trump was saying that you're panicking, you're weak, now is a great time to buy, and eventually market went up. And then when it continued to drop to around this level, the Treasury Secretary started to say that the trade war with China is not really sustainable. And then thereafter, we started to see more bullish signals coming in, which makes me feel that he is actually trying to defend that area. So I personally believe that just watch what he do and not what he says, because whatever things that he says, which I've already shown you guys above, it probably is as clear as it gets. And next, it will be the 60 VIX and also high breadth trust. And the market might actually even price in a few other things, that he might be potentially being impeached, or as if for whatever reason, or maybe he's just even if he were to stay there, right, there might actually be a case where he's just losing his credibility, and also his citizens polling, even from Fox News as well, who usually has been supporting him, supporting whatever. Like all these are plunging down. So even though the trade war seems scary, until a certain point, the world may realize that they just don't respond to him and just carry on their life as per normal. And at the end of the day, he is isolating himself, and it is really up to him to really open up the world again, so that we all can progress as a human race. And next will be Fear and Greed Index has actually also broke out of the downtrend. So obviously, we might actually have another leg down, like this leg down over. Probably we can reach back to about 23, forming a inverse head and shoulder, and eventually market started to rally from then on. My personal trade plan is that currently I'm mostly long, 82% long, 18% short. So because of this, right, I will continue to roll out my cover call until about at least strike 15. So to lock in my initial capital, to make sure I can protect my initial capital, like pure initial capital. In the event market will go sideways, it doesn't really matter, because I have double premium from the true evergreen rule strategy. In the event market will go down, my inverse side will profits. I will lose less on my long side, and eventually I will able to sell more option contracts on the long side. So generally that's my plan. If not, I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.